Hey, good afternoon. My name is Jonathan McGowan, and welcome to this week's tech webinar with ConnectALL. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about how to improve the flow of information between two applications like Solution Manager, SAP Solution Manager, and Jira. So what we're going to talk about today is really kind of some of the breakdowns that you might have in that process, and then how to improve the flow, like I said, between two example applications that fit in that category. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll go ahead and jump right on over here into our ConnectALL application. Now, to kind of preface this a little bit, an application like SAP Solution Manager can do several different things. It's got a couple of different sub-applications within there, such as the Charm application and then the ITSM application. And general process within those could be from a couple of different standpoints. You could have something like a change process, for example. You can have change requests flowing that need to be created as part of a CAB process. And those have to be approved, and you have to have the supporting documentation along with those change requests. And there's a whole big compliance process in there where you have to make sure all your ducks are in a row before you approve a change that then flows out to a production environment. Very common case with us with what we see with SAP and folks that come to us wanting to try to smooth over a process like that. But another one that we have, and the one that I'll talk mostly through today, will be more on the ITSM side, where similar, you have something like an incident that's submitted from an external customer or even an internal customer, and somebody finds a problem somewhere and they need to submit an incident so that something can be resolved. And those incidents might need to be escalated over to a development team who could be working in a tool like Jira. And so you can see I've got that laid out here. I've got an example right here on my value stream of Solution Manager over here, and then I've got Jira over here. Now there's no connection between them right now. So what's happening today between these two applications is somebody's submitting these incidents, and then somebody has to log in and manually move that incident from one place to the next. They need to communicate with somebody. They need to say, "Hey, there's a new problem here. Can we fix that? We need additional. We need code changes. Let's say on that." So that's a manual process that has to happen. But what we can do is, with some value stream assessment here, we can decide, okay, we've got a manual process right there that can easily be automated. And so let's go ahead and jump in and do that. We'll cut that time out that's required to do that escalation. So let's come on up here, and I'm going to go ahead and start this. Let's go ahead and choose SAP Solution Manager down here. And then I'm going to go ahead and choose Jira as my other one. We're going to say something like SAP Incident Escalation. And map that. I'll go ahead and use these connections that I already have defined in here for both Solution Manager and Jira. Our connections are looking great. And then we'll go ahead and click on Configure here. And what I'll do here is just quickly show you how easy it is to set up a connection like this. What we've done so far is we've told ConnectALL how we want to connect to the two different applications. What I'm doing now is telling ConnectALL where to look in these different applications. We're actually going to do this right here live, and then we'll actually see an example of that flowing. So actually see, I'm looking at incidents, and I'm actually looking at a custom incident form here, and then I'm looking at bugs within Jira. We're going to go ahead and make that one-way creation, like an escalation process from Solution Manager to Jira. And then we'll get into the meat of it on the next screen. We're actually going to map the different fields that we want to see here. Here's our third step. All right, we're going to go ahead and map description to my summary. And then we'll find a couple other fields. What other fields do you think? Maybe something like priority. Something like status is always great to see. That would help the collaboration between the two. Kind of letting people know in SAP what the status is in Jira. And something like attachments too. So there we go. Let's go ahead and we'll have to map a few values too. Let's go ahead and map our priorities. We're going to say something like my very high priority is going to map to my highest in Jira. My high is going to map to the high, the medium to the medium, and the low to the low. And now, of course, I do have 5 different priorities over here in Jira with only 4 in Solution Manager. I'm going to do an advanced, very special mapping here too. We're going to say, hey, ConnectALL, if you see anything else in Jira that's not in that list, we're going to go ahead and set it to low right there. So there we go. Kind of a catch-all for that one. And let's go ahead and map a couple of statuses here. I'm not going to map every status here. I'm just going to map a few just for the purposes of showing this. Let's go ahead and map new to do and in process to in progress. There we go. All right, so there we go. We have a nice little selection right here of different mappings. We're going to be looking for incidents. Those incidents within Solution Manager will create bugs within a specific Jira project, and we'll actually see how those 2 applications can now be connected. There we go. We can see there's a nice connection right there between them now. All right, so let's go ahead now and follow through the rest of this process and actually get on with the demonstration here. So let's go ahead now and create a new incident. I'm going to say the Zmin right here. We're going to say something like, I can't reset my password, right? That's a great one. Maybe the password reset page is actually broken, right? It's not that somebody doesn't know how to reset their password, but maybe it actually does need some sort of development support. Maybe the link is broken or it's going to the wrong place. All right, so a few things there. Let's go ahead now and save this. And let's head back over to ConnectALL. Now what happens now? So I've done a lot of stuff right there in rapid fire, of course. I know we've just got 10 minutes just to kind of show this whole process. But what I want to show you here is how easy it was to go in and actually set that up. And what we actually did is just told ConnectALL, I want to work with the Solution Manager. I want to connect the Solution Manager, and I want to connect it to Jira. And I'm going to specifically look for incidents within that those applications. I'm going to create bugs over there. We can see right there it just happened. And what happened after we set that up, after we told it what to look for and how to connect it, then it starts looking and pulling for changes in each application, looking for new things and looking for anything that's been modified. So you can see that as I was talking there, it found that incident and created something brand new over in Jira. That's CON6636. We go ahead and look right here. You can see, sure enough, right there, CON6636. And we can see a couple of the details there. You can see, of course, my summary up there. And we can look and see, where did my priority go? My priority down here is set to the highest, right? That's what I set it to over in Solution Manager. Now to kind of close this loop, let's say, okay, somebody's going to pick it up and move it on to in progress. They can start working on it. They can take it from there and then do all the fulfillment that they need to do over there on the Jira side. Okay, so let's see here. It looks like we already have a change. It might have found that one a lot quicker. Let's go ahead now, and let's go ahead and refresh this. And you can see right here, here's that original incident, and my status is now bumped up to in process. Okay, so now I have some idea. I've got some visibility now back in Solution Manager that somebody is working on this over in Jira, right? So what we've done now is just with this very quick connection. I mean, I did this in less than 10 minutes, right? I went into ConnectALL. I walked through the phases. I set up the connections, told it what to look for, and then set up the field mappings. And then now we have a very basic connection between Solution Manager and Jira, being able to show how these incidents can flow and be escalated, and reducing that effort, and reducing that duplicate entry between the two applications. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing. We'll open it up to different questions that you may have. Now, I'll go ahead and say again as well that, this is just the example that I showed right now is just for incidents. Very common case, right? Just to see, where a case where something needs to be fixed. Somebody submitted an incident and the level 1, level 2 support have tried to resolve it, and they've decided it needs to go over to Jira to be actually fixed. So again, very common case, not just Solution Manager, but other ITSM tools. And we can connect that or other tools as well to smooth out that process for you. But it also fits in other processes as well. As I can see over here in the question, we actually have a question right now asking about the change management process. And yeah, like I said at the very beginning, that's another place where folks commonly come to us, is that they've got a change process and they want all that information back over into Solution Manager, so that the person who needs to approve it for compliance purposes has all the information that they need in Solution Manager to approve that change and that push out to production. And that's something we can automate as well, as whenever it reaches a certain state, like it's been approved and everything's all good in Solution Manager, go ahead and run a new build out to production in Octopus or something like that. So there are lots of different places where we could fit into flowing this information or orchestrating these different events between the different applications. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show for today, just to show that we can very easily, very quickly get in there and set up a new connection between Solution Manager and an application like Jira. If you have any other questions or you'd like to know more, feel free to reach out to us at sales@connectall.com. And we'd love to talk to you more about your Solution Manager needs and how we can help facilitate that flow of information between different applications. Again, thank you for joining, and I hope you have a great rest of your afternoon.